All right, hard yarners. Today we're joined by Dan and Kerry from Goat Tape, or the greatest of all time, or greatest of all tapes.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck yeah, how good. Bloody awesome episode. And I am, as you can see if you're watching, wearing the tape, and I am sold. But before we get on to what we chatted about, this episode is brought to you by alltradescover.com.au. For those of you watching at home, and you can see behind our wonderful guest there. All Trades Cover is an insurance company that will cover you for all of your insurance needs. Give them a call and they'll give you some pretty competitive quotes. If you're a big business, small business in the trade industry, you need some coverage, hit them up. They're doing some wonderful things and a lot of our listeners are using them. So thanks so much for that and your support. Also, this episode is brought to you by Kahuna Golf. I'm wearing their hat right now. Look good, feel good, play good. You guys like golf?
I love golf.
Oh, mate, fuck. I'll give you some hats. We got plenty to give away. They're fucking good. Hopefully, actually, this is going to help my golf game. This is adding to my 100%. Golf attire. But I've been playing a shitload, and yeah, fuck. I tell you what, you do feel better wearing this stuff. It's good sort of fabric. But one thing is the biggest one I've enjoyed is the hoodie, and I've been wearing that a lot because it gets cold in winter playing golf. And I rocked up to golf playing with a couple of my mates the other day, and one of my mates was wearing the hoodie, and I was like, it's nice. Guerrilla marketing, perfect. But yeah, it's bloody good. But if you would like to get some of your own Kahuna attire, they've got the Hard Yarns 15 discount code, so that's for 15% off. Poor bloke's going broke because you're all buying his stuff. So, get around him, Kahuna Golf, links in the show notes in the bio, and always get around the people who support our podcast. But as I said, we were joined today by Dan and Kerry from Goat, or greatest of all tapes, for the nasal strips and the mouth tape. So, do you guys remember what we spoke about at all?
Feels like a long time ago. But
I guess how it all came up, how you guys got into the nasal industry.
So pretty much talked a little bit about why we both got into it and the impact that we want to have from such a simple thing on the lives of many people, whether it's everyday people, business people, athletes, just to help them live, breathe, and just perform better.
Well, you're going to see me or listen to me put one on in the episode, listeners, and I can honestly say it's fucking game-changing. It is an absolute game-changer with the how much you can breathe after putting these on. So it ain't no gimmick. It's a fucking real thing. This isn't paid sponsorship. This isn't paid partnership. This is just me being interested in the tape, and I am converted. So have a listen, enjoy, and let's get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Brand.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
All right, I've had a mare of a morning. I started recording there, listeners, for about 2 minutes without actually having any video recording. So, what's going on? Explain who you are, Deja Vu, and what we're doing here today.
I'm Dan Jones, co-founder of
Goat.
In fact, I am.
Yeah.
Kerry.
I'm Kerry Cummings, a good friend of Dan of the last 8 years and co-founder of Goat. Where's the Wall Tapes?
Yeah, fuck yeah. So sorry. As we made a mistake and we were recording, what was the start of this project? Yeah,
so basically, I've always had issues breathing through my nose, deviated septum, through martial arts training, just being punched in the face too many times, and so I've been basically mouth breathing for over 15 years, and it was just one of those things where I kind of got fed up with it. I didn't want to do the surgery, even though my wife was like, just do it. I didn't want to go under the knife. I wanted to look at a more natural way of, I guess, alleviating it and retraining my breathing. So I had a conversation with one of my coaches, and he was talking about the importance of nasal breathing, and I was like, oh, yeah, I wish I could. Saw, Alex Hormozi wearing the nose strip online, and it was kind of like a light bulb moment. I was like, shit, I might as well just give it a crack, see if it works. So I grabbed the Chemist brand ones and, gave it a crack, and it was just like, oh my God. Like,
Really?
Is this how you're supposed to breathe? I cannot believe it. It was incredible. So
we'll do mine in a second.
Yeah,
and we'll see if they have the same thing.
Give
So,
it a crack.
yeah.
I have pretty bad breathing through the nose. But,
I've got quite stuffy nose.
Yep.
And I get quite dry in the nose quite a lot. And
Yep.
Yeah, even right now it's quite sore in my nose.
Even the allergies, allergy season, a lot of people are just living with congestion. But it was kind of like that light bulb moment. I was like, wow, this is incredible. I'm going to have to use this all the time. And so I looked into, where can I get these in bulk or, and I looked around a few brands doing it, and I was like, everything's horrible. It's all chemist grade. It's not great. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then through my background in, apparel and sportswear, I was like, geez, we've got a lot of athletes that we work with that can benefit from this, in performance training and competing. So I was like, shit, there's something in this. There's something here, right? So not only health, but performance, sleeping. And then, just delved into the industry and what was happening, and I didn't see anyone doing it well.
Yeah.
And my background is branding, design. So I was like, shit, I'm going to do it better than anyone.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to Kerry training one day, and he was just like, mate. And the funny thing was, when I mentioned it to a group of us, a couple of the guys said to me, I've been using it for years. I'm like, what are you talking about? So like people are already using it without us even knowing.
Yeah.
For sleep. So Kerry was interested straight off the bat, and then we kind of went from there.
It's interesting how we would use it for sleep, but we wouldn't use it for day-to-day life, and just functioning at our best version that we could be. So, had you heard of it in fitness circles?
So for me, it was kind of like a three-pronged approach.
They're nice and close, sorry.
Three-pronged approach. I've been following Alex Hormozi for a long time. I'm involved in 8 different fitness businesses here in Perth.
Yeah.
And also performance as well. So I've played top-level rugby. So seeing Alex Hormozi use it for years and years but never promote it, and knowing how much of a business guy he is, I always thought, well, it must be something in it for him, performance-wise, because he's not selling it.
Yeah.
I love fitness, love business, and also my background in sport. Being 38 years of age now and playing my 23rd season of senior rugby.
Really?
I am still trying to compete.
Union or league?
I'm playing union now, but I did play 7 years back-to-back of league and union, so I didn't have a break.
Wow.
Which was good. It's fine. It means I didn't have to do a pre-season for 7 years, which is fantastic.
Thank
I never
God for
fully
that.
recovered, so I was never 100% niggle-free, but I performed pretty well all year. But yeah, looking at that, and trying to think of different ways to compete with the youngsters, because I can't train as hard as them, I can't recover as well as them. So all I could do was eat better, sleep better, and breathe better. And breathing is something that we do all the time. I was like, fuck it, it's a no-brainer.
And isn't it funny, as you get older, you start to think, when you're younger, and I used to do semi-professional football, AFL, and the same sort of thing, I fucking eat what I want, drink what I want, whatever, and then run around because you're training 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, doing gym sessions, playing on the Saturdays, doing your recovery on the Sundays. You're constantly working. You think you're in the best condition of your life because you're shredded. And then you're like, oh, no, I'm fit. And if you knew back then what you know now, putting that effort into your health, it's all that hindsight.
Absolutely.
And I see young kids and I'm like, mate, focus on your health, focus on your diet, focus on your sleep, focus on your prep. If only I knew.
So that's what I've started doing over the last probably 2 to 3 years, really focusing on ice baths, saunas, stretching, breath work, good nutrition, and the nose strips and mouth tape was just that extra little 1%er.
Yeah.
And back to your question about people wearing them to sleep, but not for everyday life. I think it's because it's on your face and people see it and they're like, oh, what's that? The amount of questions I get asked.
Yeah.
When I first started wearing them, it was a little bit frustrating. Like, it's a nose strip, and then have to explain it and explain it and explain it again and again and again all over. But once we set up the business, and one of my big beliefs with my fitness business is coach, educate, empower. So then rather than getting annoyed by people asking me what it was, I took that opportunity to educate people on nasal breathing. And since then, it's been great. But I pretty much wear mine all the time. I wear one for the daytime, and then I'll chuck another one on to sleep at night.
And the breath work can be used for so many other things as well. Like obviously, meditation and healing and whatnot. But just for general health. And I notice, it's great just to center yourself in meditation.
100%.
And just whatever, I don't know do you guys know much about the science behind the breath and what's going on there?
Well, basically, I think when you're breathing through your nose and you're breathing deep, through your diaphragm, not through your chest, that's where your parasympathetic mode kicks in. And that's basically your brain telling your anxiety side of yourself that you're okay. So you're out of that fight or flight, mode. So that's why, when you take a deep breath or when you're doing meditation, you're basically stepping out of fight or flight and basically your body is basically understanding that it's okay.
Everything's calm.
Yeah, so you're less anxious.
So like when you're in a fight or as a Neanderthal running away from a lion, you're probably taking short, sharp, erratic breaths, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the brain's messages, but so basically nasal breathing, but basically activates that parasympathetic nervous system. So
right, well, should I chuck on one of these things as well so we can do the rest of it so I can be at my highest?
Let's do it.
Do I wipe my nose off first to make sure?
Which colour do you want?
Pretty.
Yeah,
we'll go. What colour? You're wearing the black.
Yeah,
you're wearing pink. I'll go white.
There's a lot of people try and stick it on with oily fingers or just a
yeah.
clean nose, but give it a quick wipe when it's dry.
Yep. I'll let that dry for a second.
Blackies.
I'll go the white if you're wearing pink and black.
Oh, this one's a clear one.
Oh, okay. We'll go.
We'll go the black one. Just
easy as.
in there.
Yeah. So when people apply them, they usually stick the dirty, sticky fingers on the adhesive. So try and say, don't touch that.
Okay.
But I'll stick it on nice and straight for you.
All right. Cool.
Here we go.
Before doing anything, just rub down the sides. Just heat up that glue a little bit because it's quite cold in here. But
but like,
and then
mate,
just
like
breathe
instantly.
Out, breathe out as far as you can.
With my mouth?
Out. And then straight into your nose. How's it feel?
Holy fuck. What the fuck? How does that work?
So inside the strips, we've got these.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's insane, right?
What the fuck?
It's crazy.
Game changer.
Mate, you don't even need... You can clip this up. This is a fucking... Jesus.
So if you squeeze your fleshy part of your nose, you can feel it flick back out.
Yeah.
So there's three pieces in there, nice and strong, and that's what we found with some of the other brands that Dan talked about, Chemist Grade. They weren't pulling out enough.
Yeah.
So all this does is basically mechanically just lifts
My
up, lifts up
God.
your nostrils, increases the capacity.
good, right?
Oh my... Mate, this is incredible. You've sold me.
I sold you.
Sold me like...
Yes.
Give me 400 of them. Jesus. That is ridiculous. All right, so I wonder if I'm going to function better while we're chatting.
Definitely.
I genuinely feel weird right now. Like...
So the big thing for me as well is having it on my nose. It's that reminder, like Kerry, nasal breathe. Because I forget. Like I've been breathing however for the last 38 years, and I'm trying to nasal breathe more and more to be better, more efficient. But now it's there.
Now what? Okay, so not the cynic in me, but the cynic in me or in anyone would ask, why isn't this normal? Why isn't my nasal passage open like this normally?
So I think originally back in the day, we breathed correctly, but it's modern life. It's just changed everything. So we don't eat correctly. We definitely don't sleep correctly. We don't even work correctly. Sitting down in a chair for 8 hours is not conducive to good breathing. Because your diaphragm can't extend enough.
Yeah.
When you're sitting, it's like compressed. So when you take a deep breath in, even when you belly breathe, it's hard to get that full length of breath. So everything that we're doing in our modern day life is really not conducive to correct breathing. And so over time, we've learnt how to incorrectly breathe. So we're not doing it correct.
One of the best books I've ever read about breathing and breathwork is Breathe by James Nestor. And in there he talks about the decline in people's structure of their face, jaw, back of the mouth, purely because of like industrialization, the foods that we eat, and basically becoming lazy.
Who wrote the book about the jaw structure and the teeth? And because of diet, I can't.
Yeah, it's probably breath from James Nestor.
Yeah, so it comes up in James Nestor's
It wasn't that, but yeah, it's
similar. Yeah,
similar concept.
Thing.
Yeah.
'Cause, we're not eating foods where we have to chew anymore. It's all soft food.
Yeah.
And the way that we sit, the way that we work.
Well, we require these sort of the jaw exerciser and stuff now. Like that's how bad our nutrition and what we've been eating. Like I just found out the other day, broccoli is not even a natural vegetable.
What?
It's synthetically made, and it's been mutated from. It's a throwback from cabbage.
Wow. Okay.
So like,
I love
even there you go. Even so, we're not eating natural food. Even the good foods that we think like bananas or apples. Apples are fucking like that big. If we're eating them in their natural form. So everything's changed. I've gone back recently to eating meat. I was vegetarian for 6 years, and you mentioned allergies before. And through the initial change into vegetarian was a great change. Had great results, better recovery, and a few things like that. But I was also very conscious of what I was eating as a vegetarian. And I think eventually it got a bit lazy, and I started eating a lot of seed oils, a lot of terrible things. My allergies went from none to fucking berserk. Like I can't, when it gets to that, September period, I'm fucked. Like I'm cooked for 3 months, and then or a month or so, and then I started eating meat again. Started eating better foods, clean meat, good vegetables, no sauces, and it basically didn't completely get rid of my allergies, but next to none. Just by changing what I was eating. So if we're thinking just like changing how I'm breathing, how that's going to help me function as a person when it comes to allergies. I don't know what it would help with there, but like jaw structure. There's so many things that we're fucking with the human body. And if this is one thing that we can sort like,
it's such a simple
I can't believe how good. It's weird. It's
like
odd.
trying to get someone to eat better, to train harder, to sleep better. There's a lot of barriers there. Life is busy, all this stuff. But to stick a nasal strip on, got to wash your face, dry your face, stick it on.
Especially when you're sleeping.
Instant benefits.
Yeah.
Instant benefits.
Oh, I will 1,000% be using this when I'm sleeping, and you'll probably see me. All the podcast clips will be me wearing fucking goat clip. So on that, what makes your product better than the chemist brands that you were talking about, and why did you try to make it better?
Yeah, so I mean, I tested pretty much every brand out there on the market. A lot of them, like Kerry was saying, the structures aren't the same inside within the tape. So they wouldn't have the strength to sort of pull out the nostrils as much. They'd pop off during the night, so you'd find them lost in the sheets in the morning.
Cheeks.
Some of the mouth tapes are quite rigid. There's no stretch to them, so you get that claustrophobic feeling. Or they wouldn't stick again, so if you got stubble or a beard, it's just falling off, it's popping off.
You guys do the mouth tape as well?
So your mouth tape is another big part of the business.
Fuck, so mate.
Yeah.
Huberman has pumped you guys.
Oh, look, those guys, James Nestor, Patrick McEwen, they're all experts in that field, or they know a lot about it. So it's helped massively.
I'm interested if it helps with like cognitive function and clarity of mind.
100%, because you're getting more oxygen into your bloodstream, into your body. So, breathing through your mouth, you're getting 18 up to 18% more oxygen into your system than if you're breathing through your mouth. So instantly, there's all the benefits that come from that. When you're more oxygenated, when your muscles are more oxygenated, you're better performance when you're exercising. It's more mental clarity, more energy. It's just endless. Like
being a stats guy, I've had the Whoop, the Aura Ring, all of that stuff. Now I use the Apple Ultra Watch, but that measures my sleep as well. And I was showing Dan today that over the last 6 months, my REM sleep, which is the good stuff, has increased by over 50%. So it's 50% more REM sleep.
Mate, and on that, a mate of mine just posted, he's like, I've been sick for a couple of days. Anyone got some recipes, And I said, the old honey, garlic, lemon tea, the old wives' tale. Mum and dad used to make me have it when I was a kid. Perfect. But I was like, the best recipe is sleep. Getting good sleep.
So back to the cognitive function, just waking up the next day having better sleep. And the only thing I've changed is the fact that I use a nose strip, a mouth tape, or sometimes both. Fuck. And that's literally the only thing I've changed is that and my REM sleep. The stats are there. So for me, that was a no-brainer, and it works.
This is an instant slap in the face as well, because I've seen these videos. Everyone like the mouth tape, the nose tape, and I'm like, it's a gimmick. People are just going on a trend or something like that. But I'm instantly... I'm a dickhead.
We say to like people that are cynics and believe it's just a Band-Aid on your nose. We're like, try it. Give it a crack.
It's not. And so what? There's like multiple layers, I guess. Is there?
So you can see it better on the clear ones here. Carry.
So if you're listening at home, you can select the video option. You can have a little look on Spotify.
So the glue. Or the adhesive is going to try and it will stick it to your nose, but basically...
okay. So there's like little... Are they metal? What are they? Like
plastic.
It's plastic.
So from there, it's going to try and flick back up. And obviously, as it's stuck to either side of your nostrils, it's going to pull it as straight as possible.
And so the glue... And then you'd have to put a bit of research into the glue that goes on there so it's strong enough but doesn't have allergic reactions.
Yeah, that's right. So it's hypoallergenic. It's medical adhesive, so it sticks as good as it's going to stick.
Okay, cool.
That was the other thing. Like a lot of the other brands, like I said, they weren't sticking well enough. So you had to get the right adhesive.
And it doesn't feel. I feel like we're just advertising.
Yeah, I know.
But it doesn't feel uncomfortable.
It's like with the new sponsor.
Yeah. Goat Tape. This episode's brought to you by Goat. It's it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. Yeah, like I'm an ultra marathon runner, and I say that loosely. I've run 4 ultras, but I like to run quite a lot, and I am very interested to see how this is going to affect my performance.
On that, what sort of heart rate? Zone 2 or zone 3?
Zone 2, quite a lot.
I'd love for you to try the mouth tape as well. Whilst you run, if you're zone 2, you don't really need your mouth. Well, the way I generally, because I'm such an unscience person, I just get out there and do it. And one of my trainers, he comes on the podcast a lot, Corey Green. He's like, "What's your heart rate at? What's zone 2?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just went for a run, man." And he's like, "Okay, you're a fucking idiot. But if you want to measure zone 2, easiest way, have a gentle chat with whoever you're running with, and you'll probably be in zone 2 if you can maintain that." So I just do that, but I can do that almost sprinting. So Corey's a top coach,
AI. But it's I'm fucking very interested in that. And so the mouth tape, so that's always been interesting to me as well because of like stubble. I am a stubble person. Have they got? Has it got more glue in it? What's the scenario with that?
Again, it's just the right balance of adhesive, getting the adhesive right, making sure it sticks. But it's pretty sticky, but it's got to stay that way. It's got to stay on your face the whole night. There you go.
And so it just holds your mouth together pretty well.
Yeah, just keeps it close. Essentially.
Like if you were to really pull out, would it open up?
You can open up.
Yeah, but
generally
you're not
speaking,
doing that really
you're
in
not
sleep.
doing that. The issue with when you're asleep is the muscles relax around your jaw, so they just slowly drop open.
Yeah,
and when you have that breathing habit, it is what it is. It's a habit. So this is helping retrain it. In fact, once you've done this for a little while, you actually do notice, even when you don't use the mouth tape, that you're naturally breathing through your nose more.
Okay.
You're not slipping back into the habit of breathing through your mouth.
And would this stop snoring?
Oh, 100%, because essentially, the issues of snoring and sleep apnea are a lot of the time due to mouth breathing, or, so this definitely helps with
So would
snoring.
this strip alone help with the snoring?
We've heard from some of our customers that it has already helped just with the nose strip. But, the mouth tape's definitely going to shut the
100%.
mouth. So,
Well, I'm not like a horrific snorer. I know I'm not a bad snorer, but I do from time to time snore, and usually depending on what I've been eating, drinking, stuff like that. But it has been made apparent to me of late. Just a couple of nudges at night, like
that's right. Yeah,
mate,
we
roll over.
100%. We got so many customers that have said, "Oh, my wife, my missus is so much happier.
Yeah.
I'm not snoring anymore.
Okay.
So that's a game changer in the bed.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then are we seeing any results for people using it through sports? Has that been made? Has any sort of data been found on that? Do we know?
Really just word of mouth, just from our athletes and guys that are using it, either running or training, CrossFit, boxers. We've got a quite broad list of athletes that are using it, and the results have been amazing.
And I wonder, just for comfort, because like I said, I get quite, for whatever reason, I've had nasal congestion quite a lot of my life. Always one of the nostrils is it feels like it's quite stuffy.
Yeah.
And if, especially in colder weather, the inside of my nose will get quite dry, and then it can scab up and get quite sore. And then it's sore for a few days, and I'm wondering, I'm interested, so it's going to be interesting wearing this for a bit. But and where does it go from here? So obviously, starting a brand and trying to get it out there. How do you you're trying to compete? You're trying to put it on people's faces. What are you trying? It's an easy thing to sell once it's on their face. They're going to see it everywhere.
Yeah, look, I've come from the background of sports apparel, and so that is an assistant in people's lifestyles and training and stuff like that, but nothing like this. This is instant. You chuck one of these on and it's like, whoa. So the reaction that we're getting from people, how it's changing their lives, is just amazing. So in a sense, it's almost easier, but it's business. So we're taking the right steps. We're really trying to build a community around the brand rather than just being some reseller of a product. We really wanted to build a brand that was all about health, well-being, and just holistic health and basically performing in every aspect of life. So with that, we're sort of building out the areas of education. How do we educate people on living a healthier life? Community, building out community events and being part of that, having athletes involved. And
I think that's it's not easy, but that's a good one to get onto at the moment, because like I said before, people are starting to prioritize their health, and if this is 1%, that's just it's easy. Buy a strip, put it on the top, and it's gonna make an impact. Fuck, you wouldn't. And I mean, all the listeners, I'm not talking shit. This is I'm actually shook by how
speechless.
Well, it just makes me realize what was
he doing?
What was I doing before? And what was that? How was that affecting me? How is that affecting my health? And I'm very interested to see what happens I'm going to definitely do a big bulk order and get some stuff.
Almost everyone that tries them has a very, very similar reaction. Wow, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It actually works. And it kind of makes us feel like, what, you thought we were lying?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
genuinely,
Worked.
I'm the cynic. I thought it was a lie. I thought it was just
I think
what's it
everyone
gonna
was
do?
even when I saw Hormozy wearing it, I was like, I was kind of the end of my tether. I was like, fuck it, I'll just give it a crack.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? Okay,
100%.
let's do this. So
Athletes. So I wear mine for rugby, and it'll stay on for rugby if I've applied it properly. We've got
It probably works for rugby anyway. But rugby players wear a lot of stuff. And tape up their ears and
But again, like it's a reminder for me to breathe properly. So after the playing rugby and I'm breathing out my ass, come back into it, bring it back down. But it works.
Well, that's that's probably the one thing I could see from not a negative perspective, but like convincing someone to go, you have to wear this on your face, and they might want to go, no, I've got too much ego, I want to look good and whatnot. Yeah. How do you combat that sort of that stuff? Because wearing it in bed, and I think everyone would go, fuck yeah, I'll do that. No, 100%. But wearing it day to day life.
When I first started using it, the missus was like, is this what it is now? And now she's wearing them. So, I mean, I think it's just education and seeing it around, like even since we've started the brand, I mean, people were seeing around everywhere. They're getting used to seeing people wear it at competitions.
It is being normalised a little. Specifically, I've started seeing it in athletes a lot.
A lot of presenters, like Hormozy, and a bunch of content creators wearing it. And so it's being...
Well, you're going to see it every fucking week, listeners, on the podcast. So.
But if people are worried about the appearance and damaging their ego and their brand by having it across their face, like try it in the house first. And then if you can feel the difference, then try in a training session. And then you'll see the difference.
Well, I guess also you've got the clear ones. Yeah. So I guess that's a way out, really, is that it's more subtle and
that's why we did those ones as well.
People can get a bit sensitive. No, I need to look good. I'm fucking one of them. I'd be sitting there going, do I want to wear this to school pickup with all the mums and dads looking at me like I'm
I think Kerry knows firsthand. I mean, he wears it all the time and you just kind of get past it. I mean, I train a lot of CrossFit and I just literally, when we jump into a WOD, I chuck it on because I can't, I'm just sucking through my mouth if I'm not, if I don't have it on, and I'm just fatigued basically the whole workout. So
quite often date night as well, I'll have it
on. Classic.
Mrs. loves that.
Yeah. Well, CrossFit, what's sort of brought that on? What's the idea behind that?
I guess for me, like I said, martial arts has been my background for over 20 years. I kind of achieved what I wanted to with that. I wanted something new, something that would really push me. I tried a few different other modalities of training and nothing really got me excited. I really like being pushed, and I think coming from martial arts, aspiring, and you're on. Like if you're not, you're getting punched in the face. So I wanted something where it was like hard, tough, so tried CrossFit. It was like, yep, this is me. And I like that competition aspect as well. So
mate, that's exactly what happened to me after finishing up football at that sort of higher level, or the most competitive level I did. I tried playing amateur footy for a couple of years. It just isn't, I don't know, I didn't have any, I'd rock up to training and it just wasn't the same. Didn't have any drive to do it. So the ultras were something that I thought, well, you got to fucking train for that. And it's incredibly difficult. And I love that competitive, like pushing your body to the limit. So I certainly empathize with that. But I'm just fucking shocked, man, that I didn't buy in. But cognitive function, I'm very interested to see that. I fucking tell you what, Biden could probably use.
I think so.
Let's get Joe Biden a bit of fucking nasal strips. Actually, how crazy, man! Did you got
nuts?
Like Trump, like
I almost feel like it's some kind of conspiracy, like they set that up. So I mean, obviously, unfortunately, someone died from that. But
I'm the opposite. Nah, that was not set up.
I don't think it's definitely real. Like it's just, that's divine, man. He's turned his head like
is that,
and he never turns to look at the screen. He's always engaging with the audience. But they had stats up on a screen. He's looking over there. He turns one little step that way. It changes the angle of his head. It fucking misses his brain.
And the whole fist pump afterwards, I was like,
that feels divine.
He's going to be president again.
Mate, he's 1,000. Like, and people will say, oh, he did it to make sure he would win president. He was already going to win. Like, Biden was cooked to begin with.
Regardless of what you think of either of their political policies, the fact that he stood up and he's like, no, let me go. And fucking fist pump, it's like...
So part of that, in watching that whole situation unfold, was just... It was insane, but it was there's so many things that were a little dodgy that it does feel like when they say it's set up, I don't think it was set up by the Republican, the Trump campaign. And I'm not saying the Biden administration was set up, but it just feels like some of those Secret Service agents, and they weren't Secret Service, they were a hired security firm from memory, just slightly, they're still good, still a high functioning security detail, but it seemed like there was some purpose in their ignorance. And it felt a little.
Maybe they were mouth breathing and didn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't thinking clearly.
Mate.
Just wild.
Oh, that was wild.
Yeah, so world's fucking in a crazy spot. If anything, I'll take from it is a lot of people went, we have to call for unity, which should have been the case to begin
But will
with.
anything happen in the States? It's like, I think, was it Goggins was like, it's the divided states.
Yeah.
It's no longer the United States. It's
Goggins. Fuck, I love Goggins. He's here.
He's an ultra guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's here in November.
November. Yeah.
You
I watched him in Sydney 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, and we're gonna watch him again. He's good.
I think so. Ethan Donetti is getting him over here, and we've reached out to Ethan, and he's potentially going to come on because he's an entrepreneur himself, and he runs some very big conferences, and he's got to speak to some very big people. He brought out Vince Vaughn, David Goggins, Gary Vee. He brings out all the big names. So we've reached out to him. He's got back to us. He's hopefully keen to come on himself. No, he is keen to come on himself, but I said, fuck, while you're here, please, Goggins. Please, I don't know any other way to get through it. So, but
That'd be amazing.
But then, what sort of rugby were you into? Like you said, high level, or
Yeah. So I was in the British Army for 11 years.
okay,
Whilst I was in the British Army, I was very fortunate to play rugby to the highest level in the combined services, both league and union. So that pretty much took me out of military life, even though I was paid as a soldier, military life to play rugby. Played all around the world, played some pretty incredible stadiums, and then came to Perth in 2013
yeah, okay.
for a rugby contract. Played 3 games, dislocated my elbow.
Who were you playing for?
I came over at Wanneroo.
Oh yeah,
so-
sick at the back. Yeah.
Just up north of the city. And I've been there ever since. They're such a good club, good bunch of boys, really community focused. That's what I've always been. So yeah, still trying to hold on to my career. I remember when I was 18, 19, just coming through, looking at the old boys that were 35, like, fuck, just hang up the boots, bro. You're too old. And now I'm 38, and I'm still playing pretty good rugby. And I think I put it down to that attitude shift. It's now not just physical presence and hard work. Now it's working smarter, not harder. 'Cause my body just wouldn't keep up otherwise. But my next thing after rugby, once I do hang up the boots, is going to be, and you mentioned Corey Green. It's I've done 2 half Ironmans now, but I'm going to probably get into some full Ironmans.
Fuck, man, that's the one that scares me. The Ironmans are just, they're insane.
Tough
Like,
day at the office.
mate,
But it's not
that's-
just that. It's the 3, 6, 9 months lead up to it where you're
Yeah.
doing
Actually, that's what it is for me.
8 to 14 hours worth of training per week, and it's not necessarily hard training. It's just a long time out of life.
And that's, I think for me, that's what scares me about Ironman, is that, the training. Like, it's not doing an Ironman. I think if you're doing the work and the training, you're going to not find it easy, but
It's a lead up.
you'll get it done. Just like when I did my last Ultra, the difference between the first one where I just rocked up and this one where I trained hard, I didn't find it
What sort of distance was your last one?
80. So not too bad. I've done 100 and whatnot, but the difference between training was just ridiculous. I didn't it sounds arrogant, but I didn't find it that difficult, the last one. It was actually a little underwhelming. Like, by the end of it, I was like,
On competition day.
yeah. I went out there and finished, and then like we went out for drinks after, and I felt fine. Whereas the first 2 or 3, like, I could barely function after. Like, I'm literally nearly passing out. So now I want to push it even further. I'm going to go try
What do you
to.
reckon your biggest one's going to be?
I'm going to try and do Delirious, which is like there's a 100-mile and 200-mile. It's a multi-day event.
One of my members at the gym did that beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. But I know a couple of people, you know as well, Will, that has run from WA to Sydney. Done that. Friend of mine, Brooke, has run from northern WA down to Perth. She's going to do a full lap of Australia.
Wow.
She starts that in about 6 months' time, I think.
It's crazy.
And she starts it in March, and she's going to do a full lap, aiming to break the world record. So
the people
give some goats.
we've got to meet through this podcast doing similar things. So just going off what you just said there, we've had so many different people. Like John Elliott, he walked across Australia with 6 camels for 3.5 years. Just went and did that.
Wow.
Which was fucking nuts. He's actually our major sponsor now, so having him on through that is awesome. But Tim Franklin just finished running around the world, like second fastest to ever do it. And the only reason he probably didn't break the world record is because his dad passed away on the way and he had to come back, funeral and all that. But yeah, like he was sitting in that chair. You should have seen him getting in and out of that chair. Like you didn't even see that in the podcast. I probably got it on tape somewhere. He's literally just barely able to get in and out, like running around the world.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. He just finished 2 weeks ago. So big shout out to Tim, actually. Well done on that feat. That's ridiculous. But the pain and stuff that some of the people we've got to meet, it's fucking incredible, man. Like you see people putting themselves in some of the most incredible amounts of pain just to push themselves to be better. And that's why I think there's room for these sorts of things. People are finding that addictive. And I guess that's you'd see that in being involved in a lot of gyms. Memberships must constantly be thriving and growing, I guess. Would they? Or do you see up, like, do they come in and out?
It's up and down, I think, because the economy, but also the weather as well at the moment. Yeah, so that's a big one. It's certainly seasonal, but that's where we try and be different. Like what we focus on, like I said, with the military and the rugby, it's all about being a team. So our number one focus is community. So we aim to try and do things a little bit different, and I think that's what Dan was saying earlier as well. With what we've created with Goat, we want to be a community. We want all of our customers to feel part of the brand and not just
this is something
someone that's wearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, how does that whole thing go down? Like you go, right, okay, we're going to make the nose tape and the mouth tape. Like what's the first process? Who the fuck do you reach out to start making that? Like do you...
But again, all the years in the sportswear industry, managing
contacts.
production, I've got contacts. So just went through the same process of, developing a new product, whether it's a backpack or, a pair of shorts or whatever it may be. Same process with this. Did my research, tried, a few suppliers, sampling process. Just testing and trial and error, really.
Have you got it on any like AFL players or cricketers or anything like that?
We're working on it. We're working on some big names. So I think as you start seeing it around more, we educate more people on it. Already a lot of athletes are wanting to get involved in it and start using it, even if it's just for training or just for sleep. I mean, if you can just get that, like Kerry says, that 1%, to improve your performance or just daily life, why not? It's a no-brainer, really. So a lot of people wanting to get involved. So it's a matter of time, I think.
I wonder how, if this is just like the first step, like where else does it lead, do you think? Is there other options in regards to breath, and then using it in breath work and workshops?
Yeah, so we're already starting to use that. We've got some partnerships coming up, and breath work workshops and all that kind of stuff.
Would that happen to be with Cam Watkins?
Yeah, we do a bit of work with Cam. How
crazy is that? He's been on the podcast.
Yeah. He's a legend. He's such a good guy, and very versed in breath work. So he has started to use it and even recommend it for some of his clients, because it goes so far beyond just breathing, performance, and sleep. There's the mental aspect of it. So mental health. Anxiety. So there's so many different avenues where this is benefiting people. So guys like Cam are really good advocates for that.
Yeah, 100%. And he's a Is he a physio for Western Fever maybe, or is it Western Fever?
Not too sure what team. He's got a bunch of good athletes and teams that he works with.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, what's the so you being in I guess in gyms and whatnot. So what's the trends you're seeing at the moment in regards to, like, I see a lot of people going out there trying to they go straight into the gym. I'm a perfect example. I haven't been in the gym for fucking six or 7 years. I do general workouts. I have kettlebells at home and whatnot. And I went to the gym for the first time, I reckon, in 6 years yesterday. And I'm fucked. And now I probably won't go for another week and a half. So what are your tips from someone who you own gyms? Or
So I've got 5 studios, took over a new one yesterday. But I tell people not to go straight into training. So we've actually got a 5-pronged approach. So we've coined it the MENT method. So mindset, education, accountability, nutrition, and then training. A lot of people think you just need training. But training for me, for the majority of general population, is probably the least important. If you can get their mindset right, educate them on what to do, what not to do, hold them accountable to eating better, sleeping better, more fluids, and then improve nutrition. The training's an extra, because let's just say they do train twice a week for 45 minutes or 3 or 4 times. Maximum they'll get 3 or 4 hours out of 168. They're not going to offset a shit lifestyle just by training. So yes, I'm in the business of gyms and training people, but the majority of work that we do, and we offer guaranteed results or your money back as long as they stick to the pillars that we focus on.
Yeah.
Like, because the last thing we want is for someone to come in that hasn't been training for a while. Not like you, where you've done ultras, you know how it feels, you know it's going to hurt. But someone's been sat on the couch for 6 years, they're 10, 15, 20 kilos overweight, they come and train like, fuck, that's too hard, I'm not going back. So if anything, we take a slower approach to training with the majority of people, focus on the other 4 things, because without that, like, I've done it myself. I've trained real hard, eating like shit, not being consistent, didn't make a difference. So we focus on the others first.
You must have had some decent injuries in rugby as well to try and work through.
Every other week there's another story.
So 2005, I was having trials for, the scout was coming to see me for Wales Rugby League trials. And in that game, just after half-time, I ended up breaking my arm. So that was that one done. Plus I was still in the military, so then I got shipped out to Iraq anyway, because I wasn't playing sport for that off season then.
Fuck. Don't brush over that. Shipped out to Iraq. Like, that's
waiting for that.
That's well, yeah, fuck. What
I was very, like I said, very, very fortunate with the life that I had in the military, because I was playing rugby to a good level. A lot of then the guys and girls back on base, they actually took a lot of my extra work when I wasn't there. So I'm forever grateful for the other boys and girls that did the hard yards for me.
Yeah.
My time out in Iraq, 6.5, 7 months from like end of 2005, 2006 was pretty easy, to be honest.
Okay.
I didn't get to see any crazy shit. So me coming back from there and then straight back into sport, I just knew that if I worked hard and played well, I could keep doing that. So that's why I focused solely on that. But since then, injury-wise, like I said, came to Perth 3 games, dislocated my elbow. And then 2 years ago, in a semi-final of the Cup, I tore my pec off the bone.
Oh, fuck.
I was, we were 3 points down. I was playing fullback, and it was literally him v me. I was slightly out of position, just swung my arm, made the tackle. We won the game. And then the next week, I was having major surgery out to reattach my pec. But yeah, that I don't know if you ever seen the picture, but where you get like a big, dirty black pec down the bicep. That's what I had, and then got reattached and
tattoo.
Back in the game now.
Yeah, 100%. I've had some issues with my shoulders. Differently dislocated it a few times. It used to fall out forwards. So like, I think it's called the labrum. Labral
tear,
labral, and I had a tear, and I decided to keep playing through it because we were in the finals trying to win a grand final. We did win it in the end, and I was captain, so
it's all worth it.
It's all worth it. Yeah.
Arguably.
Look, no, well, so by coming back and not letting the tear heal or not getting the surgery to fix the tear, I then basically completely tore it, so it needed to be sorted. But it kept on desiccating, so it would fall out forward because it didn't have that structural
integrity.
Yeah, and it would just every time I'd go like that, it would go and fall forward. And it's now at a point where I have good mobility for what I used to, but that's about it at the moment. So, but the second surgery I had basically stopped that mobility specifically to stop it from falling out forward because they gave me the first one was keyhole surgery, arthroscopy or whatever they call it, and and the second I think it was about 16 games later, I just went like that, put my arm out. I didn't even touch them, just reached to get them, and it went. But I wasn't doing any of the exercises, wasn't doing any of the...
You didn't listen to the experts.
Well, I also just wasn't like... I just thought, they've put it together, it's going to be fine. Yeah. I'm not putting in effort to footy anymore, I'm just rocking up and playing. But it's a physical game, and then I went up to them and I was like, well, the surgery didn't work. And they said, you're playing football again? What are you, fucking crazy? And I was like, yeah, well, I told you I was going to play football again. And they said, oh, no, we would have given you the full Lardajay if we knew you were going to play footy. Right. So then they've given me the Lardajay. So I can now play football, but it's agony constantly. But, yeah. I wonder if breath would have helped with recovery. Does it help with recovery in that respect? Is there much science behind that?
Yeah, heap. I mean, behind all of these things that we're saying, there's so much research and proof. That's the beautiful thing about it. Nasal breathing, I mean, all you need to do is Google it, and there's so much research behind it and the benefits, because you're essentially getting more oxygen to your blood cells, and basically that helps aid in recovery. So, I mean, shit, why wouldn't you?
And I love the mindset of just going, fuck it, I'm going to make my own. Like, what does that feel like? Because if you're going to compete with some of the biggest brands in the world, what is and does it help when someone like a Hoobman, a clip goes viral?
100%. I mean, these guys that are talking about it and wearing it all the time, that are big names, I mean, that definitely helps. And like you said, the fact that people are more conscious about health these days, and mindfulness and all of that, and finding other avenues like ice baths and saunas to recover and aid in a healthy lifestyle massively helps.
Well, that's what I'm doing straight after this. I go straight to the sauna. I've been saunaing almost every day now. Yeah. I'm probably about 5 days a week. I go sauna.
And why do you do it? That's the thing, right? It's like that, getting that 1%, or those little things that add up to a healthy lifestyle, and this is just one of them. It's not the be all end all, but it's something that I think, like I said before, 90% of people are breathing dysfunctionally. So we don't even know we're doing it wrong because it's just an everyday thing. You don't think about it. But
I didn't even know it until I put this on.
Yeah, so it's like ice bath, it does this and it helps recovery, and sauna and the same. So these are all things that we've known and learnt over time. So people are doing it more, and it's becoming a thing. And so this is just one of them, one thing.
And the nasal strips and the nasal breathing, you can do it with everything. You can do it with ice baths, do it with saunas, do it with stretching, do it with breath work. And there's no barriers. Like trying to get some of my members, clients, friends, athletes into an ice bath, it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I've bitched out hard this winter because I'm an ice bath or at least cold shower or ocean every morning, or as many mornings as I possibly can. And I'm quite disciplined with that. Yeah. And I fucking feel it. I feel the difference. I feel way better for it. And for whatever reason, this winter, I just stopped. I just stopped. I love a good, especially the ocean. Yeah, you get down there, 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning in winter. It's fucking still black. You can still see the stars.
So we've just actually sponsored, one of the major sponsors for a massive charity initiative. Have you heard of Cold Nips?
Yes.
Yeah, so Cold Nips, they're going around Australia doing 100 dips.
Yeah, I've seen that,
in 100 days, and we've come on board as one of the major sponsors.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So not only do I know the guys that are going to benefit from the money they've raised, but also breath work on top of ice baths. Like, it's what I believe in. It was a no-brainer for us when we met Gian and the team. It's like, and we want to come on board with this because you're going to be throwing people in cold water. The benefits are incredible. If you can add on that breath work as well with a nasal strip, it's going to be enhanced, and they're doing great things for charity. So
Yeah. And don't you find being around those sorts of people and like-minded people, it motivates you to keep doing more of it?
Yep.
And like, how else can I better myself?
Yeah.
Like even though I'm a bit sore from the gym, and I will go. I'm talking shit. I'm going to go this afternoon. I'll go sauna. I'll go gym. But I finished up the gym. I was like, I went home. I did some editing that I needed to get done, and I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, all right, I'm going to eat. What healthy food can I eat? And then I put Scotty to bed last night. And I was like, I need to go to the gym again. I need to do something else. I just felt so motivated from having done the first one. I feel like it's momentum.
It's momentum. Everything compounds, but also in a negative way. If you have a shit night's sleep, you're going to eat crap. You're going to make bad decisions. You're going to skip the gym. You're going to feel worse. But like you've just found then, go to the gym, eat good, feel good, and it compounds in a positive way. So,
Well, I had and today's a perfect example. I had a great night's sleep, what I thought I did. I got up early, energized, 5 o'clock. Some mornings I'm like, I don't want to get up. But this morning I was like, nah, I guess again, gym last night. I felt fucking awesome, got up, bang. And then I had a bit of an average like school drop with my daughter, and then and then the cats were being pricks. They pissed on the couch, and I was like, I was so pissed off. And the washing machine, I was washing the sheets and stuff, and it was like tumbling and everything was fucking going wrong. Then I got here a little bit late and I was trying to set up, and then in the first 2 minutes we were
like press record.
Like I was just all over the joint. I had a mare of a fuck, and then putting this on, I feel fucking good right now.
Yeah, it's good, right?
And that interests me, like just your well-being, your mental health, your mindset.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you take that deep, slow breath, instantly you're more grounded, more relaxed. That sort of anxiety sort of melts away.
Well, don't you find it strange that, and you can find it in your own day-to-day life all the time, the things that you know will make you feel better, but you don't do them?
I fought against it for so long, being a bloke in the army and rugby. I was like, I'm not doing breath work. Fuck that.
No, yeah.
Because breath work for me was like yoga. It was, I want to do the hard shit. I want to hit the gym. I want to do all that stuff. But it's come full circle now.
Well, meditation was that for me. It's like, and I still from time to time, if people are around, I won't meditate because I feel almost a bit, I don't know why, I feel a bit embarrassed. Like, or maybe just like, hey, everyone shut the fuck up. Maybe it's a bit of a selfish thing. Like, I need you to be quiet while I go and meditate. Maybe that's more what it is. But initially I would never meditate because I thought, it's effort. Like, it's time out of my day and whatever. Now it's my priority. It's like one of the first things I do every morning, just 10 minutes. And then if I can get another one in for 10, 15 minutes as well, I will during the day. But 10 minutes to start my day, a bit of meditation. And I know that it's, again, another cliche. So you see this, you think it's a cliche, and like, it's a gimmick. It's the thing. I used to think that with gratitude as well. And it did get a bit, I think gratitude got turned into a bit of a cliche. It got taken by the mainstream. It's like everyone showed daily gratitude, and you had your vloggers and your bloggers talking about it all. Yeah. But when you really start to show gratitude for just the little things you have in your life,
it's a game changer.
Mate, I woke up the other morning and I felt good for having nice bed linen.
And that's the thing, right? It's the little things, like
compounds.
You know, I talked to my missus about it. You know, like if you're struggling to sleep, just breathe and feel grateful about the things you have. And she's like, yeah, but I always start thinking about the same thing, right? Like you and my son and whatever. I'm like, it doesn't have to be the big things.
Yeah.
It could just be that you have these nice soft sheets, and it's the feeling. It's feeling the feeling of gratitude, not thinking about the thought of gratitude.
100%.
So like anything that makes you feel good, be grateful for that. And that, I guess, is the thing that we're trying to grasp onto.
Well, once you start being grateful for the small things, you start to see a lot of other things that you didn't realize were so good in your life. Yeah. And you're like, fuck. And then you, okay, I'm going to be grateful for that today. Yeah. And then the next one, especially if you challenge yourself to find something different every day. Yeah. You like realize, fuck, I've got so much good things going on in my life. Yeah. And everyone's got it. Like even the people who are going through really tough times, they can find something. And if they find that one thing, that might buoy them up a little bit, and they go, all right, well,
And it's easier to block out the negatives rather than dwelling on it. In today's society, everyone just victim. But if you look, focus on the good things, the gratitudes, the little things that would generally piss you off and become a massive thing, doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it kind of melts away.
100%. I hate that these good ideas and these great concepts can be taken by mainstream and commercialized and turned into a gimmick and makes some really positive things feel cliche, and so you'll avoid them. But gratitude has been the number one thing I think I've added just for my mindset and mental health and well-being every morning. It used to be as big as like, oh, I'm so happy and so thankful and grateful for my daughter's health. You know, something like that would be the most important to me. But then I looked at it, I had a laptop, and I was like, I'm so grateful that I have the luxury of having a laptop.
Yeah, being able to do things like this.
Mate.
I mean...
it's been such a big realisation of late, like wanting more. Everyone wants more. We all want more. We want more. I want big. I want the best. I want to be able to fucking, my dream is to be able to fly my family to Italy and do a nice family holiday to Italy. That's always been, and that's big. That means I got fucking bulk cash. This is exploding. Everything's going well. And then I had to pull my head in, and I still want that. I'm still going to drive towards that one day, and that's going to get there. I know that will, but it's still got to appreciate what my day-to-day life is now. It's fucking good, man. Yeah. I just told you I go to the sauna every day.
There you go.
What the fuck? What arrogant prick has anything to complain about if he's waking up with money in his bank, his fucking house is clean, he's got a beautiful, loving daughter, plenty of good friends around. I got a gym membership. I got petrol in my car. I got nice bed sheets. I got a fucking laptop. I got a beautiful dog. Like, what the fuck have I got to complain about? I live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world where there's fucking... This is the middle of winter. What is it?
It's sunny out there.
What is it? 22 and sunny. Like, that is better than a summer's day in London. So, I don't know. If people just found the time to be a bit more grateful for everything they have already.
I think that's when you thing is finding the excuses we make for finding that time. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, oh, I don't have time to meditate. Yeah. Oh, I don't have time to be grateful or to eat right. It's like, it's such bullshit.
What do you think it is in us that makes us do that though?
It's just taking the easy options. Society's got soft. A couple of the gym members and some staff recently did a challenge, and the challenge was run 7K before 7 a.m. for 7 days in a row. But 3 of us were working at 5 a.m. So we had to run at 3:45
to get it done.
To get home, to get showered, to be at work. I didn't want to do it at all. Fuck no. I woke up in the morning, freezing cold, couldn't be bothered. But it's just having there was no motivation whatsoever. Yeah. But having the discipline, because I said I was going to do something, to then follow through. But I think everyone is just too soft, and social media, society, everything is accessible. It's easy. Everything is now on demand, so people don't have to work for it anymore.
And we're not going to change that. No. It's never going to change. Life's only going to get easier.
Much easier.
So, I guess that's probably why a lot of people are drawn towards ultra marathons or think incredibly difficult things to do, is because we sort of need to do them. Yeah, our life is so fucking easy. Why wouldn't we intentionally make it difficult sometimes to just give us that resilience training that we need? Because we are lacking resilience. We talk about it on the podcast a lot, especially the generations, that are coming up. My generation's fucking weak as piss already. So what's the next one going to be like? It's something I think we need to intentionally do, is put ourselves in pain and put ourselves in these hard moments. But then again, sometimes overthinking it and putting too much effort into it can fuck things up as well.
Yeah.
But, all right. I think that's pretty good. We've been going for about an hour. That's a decent little ep there. I'm happy with that, and I feel good, apart from the first 5 or 10 minutes that we probably missed out and we had to repeat. But is there anything you guys want to plug while you're here? Aside obviously the tape.
I don't know, Kerry.
I just think if anyone wants to reach out for a bit of education around nasal breathing, we'd love to help with that, but we'll get something together as well for your listeners to jump on and try it, because I think trying it is believing it, as you've seen earlier,
Mate, and this is, I can fully attest to it. Is once you've tried it, you'll be like, oh wow, instant. So I guess that's the hurdle, isn't it? Getting people to try it and then go, oh fuck. And hopefully I'll clip up that moment of me trying it on today, and it's not hard to see how authentically I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because I just can't believe the difference.
Game changer.
Like, I'll take this off soon and I'll be like, fuck this.
Well,
fuck
that's
this life.
Like, some of the guys that have said they've got perfect breathing through their nose when they take it off, they're like, oh wow, maybe I didn't.
Wow.
But it's just that it's more so the retraining of breathing, like trying to retrain your breathing to be correct, deep through the belly, through the nose.
Well, you do it, and you do
shallow.
it with purpose during like meditation. Like, I'll do I think they call it the infinity breath, where I'll breathe in through, and you can feel it going. You feel like it's going through your body. Yeah. And then you're breathing deep. You're not shallow breath. You're breathing into your gut, and as far as I'm aware, that's going to have a lot more benefits for you. But if you're putting some intention into everything, that's good. But if you can breathe, if you can train it so it's second nature. Yeah,
and I think like Kerry was saying, like just having it on your nose and having that open airway kind of is just like a trigger to, oh shit, breathe through my nose.
Yeah.
Breathe a bit deeper.
We love it when people flick us stories, tag us, or even just straight in the DMs, hey man, this has changed my life, or this was that. It's like just reaching out and telling us, so that it's just that reminder that like what we're doing is having such a big impact. So. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan. I'm sold. There's no going back. Well, it is a no going back thing.
Yeah.
It's I'd be like, if I ran out of strips, I'd be fucking holy shit.
Dan, Kerry.
Mate, you guys have got me. But sick. What have I got to plug? I'm doing some stand up on August 3rd at the Leaderville, I think it is, August 3rd. And I'm hosting quiz night every Wednesday night at Paddy Malone's in Joondalup. Anything else? I can't remember. Join the Patreon and get around Go Tape. Fuck, how good. So, but yeah, thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to have a chat. And I'm converted. Perfect.